Hi, welcome to our next chemistry video for the week. Today we're going to be talking about the electromagnetic spectrum and just reviewing how these waves are used. This video will get you ready for the quizzes assignment that you're using to end the week. You're surrounded by radio waves, infrared waves, visible light, ultraviolet rays, maybe even tiny amounts of X-rays and gamma rays every time you step outside. These are all different kinds of electromagnetic waves. The electromagnetic spectrum, just to recap, is the complete range of electromagnetic waves placed in order of increasing frequency. So if we look here, short wavelength, high energy, high frequency. Gamma rays are the shortest wavelength, highest energy, highest frequency. You get longer wavelengths, less energy, and lower frequency as you go down the list. And so the longest wavelength, lowest energy, lowest frequency would be radio waves. It's all the same thing, just different amounts of energy, making different size waves. As the wavelength decreases, so shorter wavelength, frequency increases. That's going left to right. The electromagnetic spectrum. We're going to take time to learn a little bit about each type of these waves and what they can be used for. You may want to pause here and write down a chart like this if you want to take notes by hand. You could even print out your screen and write on that. Now, radio waves are the electromagnetic waves with the longest wavelengths and the lowest frequencies. They include broadcast waves for radio and TV, and microwaves are technically just the shortest kind of radio wave. We'll talk about microwaves separately. Broadcast waves carry signals for both radio and TV programs. A broadcast station sends out radio waves at certain frequencies. Your radio or TV antenna picks up the waves and converts the radio signal into an electrical signal. Inside your radio, the electrical signal is converted to sound. In a TV, it's converted to sound and pictures. Microwaves, like I said, are technically a class of radio waves, but usually they're listed separately on the spectrum. They're the shortest end, so they come after microwaves if you're looking from left to right. When you think microwaves, you probably think about microwave ovens, cooking and heating your food. They do that. There's also other uses. Radar stands for radio detection and ranging. It uses reflected radio waves to measure the distance and speed of different objects. Okay, there's an effect called the Doppler effect, which lets you measure the speed of the object, and just how long it takes the radio waves to go and come back is how you can tell distance with microwaves. Infrared rays are wavelengths shorter than radio waves, so we're going in order here. They can be felt as warmth. When you feel heat coming off of things, that suggests they're giving off infrared rays. Older style of light bulbs gave off more heat than the current light bulbs do, and the reason for that is that they were losing a lot of their energy as infrared rays. Infrared cameras can be used to detect warmth in places by picking up infrared rays instead of light and making them visible to you. The visible light spectrum is the one that you can see. Now, in order from longest wavelength to shortest wavelength, again, that's left to right when you see them on a spectrum typically, it would be red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo, and violet. So red light has the least energy, violet would have the highest of the visible lights. After violet, we move into the ultraviolet rays. Okay, their wavelengths are just a little bit shorter than visible light. They carry more energy. The energy in them is enough to damage or kill living cells. So ultraviolet lamps can be used to disinfect hospital equipment to kill the bacteria that's on them. But they can also be harmful to you, which is why we use things like sunglasses and sunblock to protect our skin from UV rays. However, a little bit of UV rays make your skin cells produce vitamin D, which is a really important vitamin. So the little bit that would get through sunscreen or that you would get, just walking down the street in the winter is very helpful for people. X-rays, again, we're talking shorter wavelength, higher energy than the one that came before. They carry more energy than ultraviolet. They can get through most matter, but really dense stuff like bone or lead does not let them through. That's why we use them in medical settings, because it'll pass through the other parts of your body, but be blocked by your teeth and your bones, and so they can be used for that. But too much exposure to them can cause cancer because they're so high energy and they can damage cells. This is why people wear protection when they're giving x-rays or when you're receiving an x-ray from them. Okay, gamma rays, shortest wavelength, highest frequency, highest energy, the best at penetrating through things. Okay, they're produced by some radioactive substances, and they can be used to kill cancer cells inside the body. So this is one method of treatment for cancer. There are multiple different treatments that are usually used together, but radiation therapy with gamma rays is one of them. You can also use it to examine the inside of the body and form an image that way. It's also used in astronomy, studying objects from outside the atmosphere. So gamma ray telescopes have to be sent outside our atmosphere to collect the gamma rays and see what's going on out there. All right, so you can find these all over the place. You might want to pause, take a minute if you were writing notes to make sure you have the information that's here in place. All right, one last thing I want to show you before we go. You're going to be playing a quizzes assignment, Introduction to the Electromagnetic Spectrum. So you want to get to this through your Schoology page or your Google Classroom page based on your particular teacher's directions. But I just want to show you how these look so you know how to answer. All right, you have choices here. I'm just going to pick the first choice each time so you can see what happens. If you're correct, you're correct. Awesome. And you get a happy meme showing that you were right. You can see yourself and with other people to compare how you're doing. Next question. Okay, so I got 2 right. Maybe picking the first every time isn't the best strategy all the time, but it seems to be working right now. I'm going to get this one wrong on purpose so you can see the right answer will come up in green so you know. And it gives you a silly meme to show you that you were wrong. You can move down in the ranks. All right, so you would keep going until you get through all the questions. If you have to stop at any time, you're going to hit pause. Okay, and you can resume the game right away if you just had to like run to the bathroom and come back, or you can save and exit and play again another time. Also, the controls are here when you start, and anytime you can turn off the memes if they're annoying, sound effects, music. You can also turn on read aloud. Read aloud will describe, will read the question for you and then read each answer choice. If you have trouble focusing when you're doing something like this, you might want to turn off the music, the sound effects, the memes, and turn on read aloud to help guide you across the page and through the answer choices. Make sure you read all 4 answer choices. If you do the read aloud, it'll do that for you. All right, when you're done, make sure you get all the way to the end. So if you have to stop, you save and exit, but you want to go back in and finish it. And if you start one, it'll be right there under recent activity to resume if you wanted to play again. All right, that's everything. Have a great week.